slaughter the fucking head. Dude, we need those things gone.
Killzone 2's campaign offers a 10-hour trudge through the best the Helgen have to offer. Levels are divided into missions with various objectives, and an easy tap on the D-pad will show you which way to proceed. Despite spending most of the game with comrades, there's no co-op option, which is a disappointment. Objectives will often have you paired up with another ISA soldier or sometimes even a whole squad. And while they won't steal too many kills, they're far from cannon fodder. At least the enemies are often as intent on killing them as they are in killing you, which isn't the case in a lot of games. That's not to say that they won't rub you the wrong way every now and again, though. Other times, Sev goes it alone. Things would be impossible if it weren't for the old standby, the exploding barrel. The game doesn't necessarily feel cliched for it, but if there's one big ding, it's that Killzone 2 doesn't feel all that fresh. The Helghast invasion loans itself to replaying. After beating a level, you can jump to any section within it, and there's tons of stat tracking to improve, collectibles to find, and trophies to be earned that don't affect the game itself, which earns our kudos. A mission that may have dogged you the first time can take on another light on replay, allowing you to stretch your tactical know-how. Even the lackluster early missions gain appeal. Killzone 2 runs the gamut of shooter objectives. You'll clear areas, man turrets and tanks, stand your ground, and blow things up. You'll also take on bosses that are sometimes bullet sponges and sometimes a bit more puzzling. You get hints barked at you almost immediately, which removes some of the experimentation, or trial and error, depending on your taste.
Shoot the overhead containers when he gets close to him.
The first couple of levels are slow burners, but the pace picks up towards the second half of the game with some awesome set-piece scenarios. The guns are pretty standard fare, with sniper rifles, machine guns, and shotguns. A few esoteric weapons make the rounds, projecting bolts or spraying an electric haze like a flamethrower. They're fun to play around with, but not as trustworthy as the standard issue ISA rifle.
I'm ready for you.
The online multiplayer component is called Warzone, where the cover controls are dropped, but you gain an incredible class system. It can be slow to start, as you're limited on guns and abilities, but once you start gaining points and experimenting, it really opens up. Putting time into your strengths is rewarded, as class abilities are unlocked. Plus, the multiplayer is pretty dynamic, with the objective switching without any troublesome loading.
Search and retrieve. Locate the objectives and return them to the designated zone.
It's great to see how standard fare like assassination being followed up with a search and destroy mission can quickly change the game dynamic. If you don't feel like playing with others, just turn on some bots and enter skirmish mode to get the lay of the land. These days, it's standard fare for a game to have a multiplayer component, but Killzone 2 goes a step above. Classes may not be new, but they're done well, and the progression system is deep. The game modes are also easy to pick up, and allowing mid-match swapping is a small stroke of genius. If you look for a lot of mileage out of your game purchases, Killzone 2 won't disappoint. The single player is relatively short, but there's incentive to play it again, while the multiplayer just keeps on giving.